In this short video, I'll be talking about the new weapon banner that will be launching tomorrow when 3.0 launches live. So on this banner, it's been officially confirmed already and released via Twitter and other social media already. It's going to feature the new bow, 5-star bow for Tighnari. It's going to be the Hunter's Path. And of course, with Zhangli rerunning on that banner, the Vortex Vanquisher polearm will also be making an appearance. So let me just talk about those. I previously already mentioned it, and I did a video about it talking a little bit about this already. I also want to quickly bring up that in a previous video, I did say, just my speculation only, I didn't know, of course, and now it's confirmed, that the Hunter's Path will not be added to the standard banner pool from 3.1 onward. I had thought that that would be added, but it's not going to be, because in the actual notes for the card on the Hunter's Path, which was released on Twitter, it actually says that this is an event exclusive featured weapon and not going to be appearing on the standard banner. So that's good to know. So I had previously posted a video where I was discussing 3.1 changes, standard banner changes, and I had also speculated that maybe Albedo or Arataki Ito might have a chance to join as a Geo character, 5-star, because there are only 3 Geo 5-stars, Zhangli, Ito, and Albedo. So I thought those two, not Zhangli because he's an Archon, but I figured those two have a chance to join the banner, the standard banner, since they're going to change it and rework it in 3.1 anyway. And therefore I speculated that because I assumed Hunter's Path was going to be added to that banner too, the standard banner, then they would add their weapons too. But it sounds like maybe not, but you never know. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, I don't know. So I just want to put that out there first. Now with this, the Hunter's Path. Now it's going to be basically a power creep leveled up version of the Amos bow in many cases. It's going to offer a lot of it's going to have a crit stat, so it's different than Amos bow, and I'm going to bring that up on the screen actually, just so we have it. Let me just see, I have Ganyu here. So just so the Amos bow is on the screen to compare, obviously I don't have the card on the screen for the Hunter's Path, but the information was released to us on Twitter, and I will bring it up and read it out as well. So give me one moment here, and let's see. Okay, so then the Hunter's Path is going to be giving us a crit substat for a crit rate substat of 44.1% at level 90 R1, and the base attack is 542, and the passive is basically gain 12% all elemental damage bonus, and you will obtain basically a stacking effect after hitting an opponent with a charged attack. This effect will increase the charge attack damage by 160% of the elemental mastery, and this effect will be removed after 12 charged attacks for 10 seconds. Only one instance of this attack stack can be gained every 12 seconds, okay? So that's good to know, right? So basically what this means is that the Hunter's Path, in many cases, is better than the Amos bow. And it definitely is going to be, of course, Tighnari's signature weapon, right? So I can see many people wanting to get the Hunter's Path for both Tighnari and Ganyu, because Ganyu will be coming on the Phase 2 of the 3.0 character banners as well. Of course, Amos bow will be rated up at that time too. So two great bow options, and is Hunter's Path a must pull? I did talk about this in the previous video as well. In my previous video, it was talking more about like just upcoming, the weapons, when we're talking about the weapons in general, when they're being teased or announced in the 3.0 live stream preview. And I have basically said that for those of you who have been around the game long enough, including myself, you may have gotten Amos bow already from the standard banner and or from not winning the 50-50 and not during a raid up on the weapon banner. And therefore you might have it. In fact, I have 2 copies of them, right? So because I have 2 copies, my plan is I'm going to give this other one to Tighnari. It will not be his best, I get that. But at least I know that Tighnari is similar enough to Ganyu's playstyle. It's basically charge attacks, it seems like, right? So it's not too far off to just give him an Amos bow, and that's pretty much my plan, because then I can save wishes and not risk it on the weapon banner. Now I might throw, if I have extra wishes, I might throw a few random ones there and see if I'm lucky, but I'm not gonna go too hard and heavy on it, is what I'm saying. Now let's go back to the other character, Zhangli, who will be rerunning, and I did just post a banner video discussion about that character banner as well. And in that, and also in my previous 3.0 Phase 1 and 2 character banner discussions, I did mention that I feel that Zhangli is a must-pull character, especially for new players and free-to-play character players, and players who are maybe have some issues with staying alive with some of the tougher content, and who or may not be able to dish out enough damage because they need to often like have a healing situation. So if you want to avoid healing as much and you want a better shield, then Zhongli is there for you. Now, as you can see on the screen, I've given him Staff of Homa. I actually do not own a Vortex Vanquisher, so I can't show you on the screen the passive, the card information. But regardless, the Vortex Vanquisher is supposed to be Zhongli's best in-slot weapon. It matches him aesthetically. It's like gold and brown color. It's beautiful. However, other bigger streamers than myself, when Staff of Homa was first debuted with Hu Tao's first debut, people found that Homa was better for Zhongli because his shield does scale off of his HP, and the passive, as you can see, scales off of HP. So therefore, this was a better one for him. And then later on, they released his Tenacity of the Millilith set, further improving his HP scaling and shielding, etc., etc. So then basically, in a way, the meta kind of shifted the way that this character was built or to be built. And obviously, for those of you who have been around longer, like myself, you may have seen the drama back then when Zhangli first debuted. They actually had to rebuff him and change his kit a little bit. So there was that drama as well. So I'll be honest with you, the Vortex Vanquisher is a skip, but of course on the weapon banner there is no guarantee and it's very risky, so please pull on it at your own risk. But if you are going for the Hunter's Path, I wish you the best of luck. And of course, if you're going for Vortex Vanquisher, because I know some people do want the aesthetic for him, get that as well. And maybe also because not everyone has Staff of Homa like me for him, and I totally understand going for that Vortex Vanquisher in that case for him. But I feel that he is a must pull, but not necessarily his weapon, because Homa is a better pull, and maybe if you're going for that for him, then maybe wait until Homa comes out with Hu Tao in the future rerun. As for Tighnari, now that we know that his weapon is not going to be added to the standard banner pool, then it's up to you if you want to give him his signature weapon or go for it, or go for his other options, which would be the Amos bow as a 5-star option. And there are other options too. I'm going to do actually a Tighnari weapons options video after this, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to go into in-depth and discuss other weapons that he could viably use as well. So I just want to keep this short. We'll talk about those 5-star weapons for now, and then we'll quickly jump over to the 4-star weapon options. So since we're on the bows, let's just talk about it. One of them is the Stringless. This is an amazing bow. This would be great for a variety of characters. I'll just put it out there. This was actually on my Venti for the longest time until I got him Elegy a couple of patches ago, and I didn't get this on the first time that it debuted or reran. I got it like I think the second or third time that it reran. So yeah, anyway, I would say that this Stringless is an amazing bow on Venti already, and the Stringless is also very good if you're building your elemental reactions Ganyu, like Melt Ganyu, Vape Ganyu, etc. And it would be great even for characters, let me just see here, because this is more for burst, skill and burst. So it's okay for Child, but obviously he has better options. It's also okay for, of course, Yelan. It's not as good for Yoimiya. It's okay for Aloy, for those of you who have her, because it was limited time where you can get her for free. It's good for fischl, who's coming up on the next banner, and we did get a copy of her in 2.8 for the summer event, right? This is not as good for Goro, because he's more support. It's not as good for Diona, but you could put it on her, but it's not as good for them. It's okay for Kujosara, and it's okay for Amber if you use her. And definitely the Stringless is also really good, or could be really good, for collei, who will be released as well tomorrow. So that's the bows, okay? Let's just quickly go over the rest of them. So there is the bell, which is a weapon that no one likes. Where is that? Do I have one still, or did I get rid of it? Oh, here. Yeah, so the bell is one that no one likes, but I feel like the bell might have found an actual user for it now. And I feel like, and this is just me assuming here, it's going to be Dory. Because Dory's a healer. And right now, we thought that this could go well with Sayu, but it turns out it wasn't, because she's a healer and claymore user, but it wasn't. And we thought this would go well with Noelle, but it isn't. But that's not the truth, right? So obviously they have better options. So I feel like maybe the third time's the charm. The next healer coming out, Dory in phase 2, might be the actual proud owner of this the bell. Stay tuned, right? Or it could be the of the rain slasher, either or, right? But then that's a future video. So anyway, the bell is not currently a great weapon. It's a skip, definitely, but I wouldn't trash it just yet because there might be a new claymore user coming soon for it. So let's just leave it at that. Now swords. Okay, so Favonius sword is going to come up, and it's a great sword, and not this one. Here, it's a great sword that's very universal. Favonius class and sacrificial class are very universal for many characters, especially support characters. I've given it to Kuki, as you can see, because I didn't want to give her any other options, and I didn't want to rebuild anything new for her. So anyway, but regardless, Favonius is a great option, but it's not like a must pull. It does come around very often. And speaking of Favonius, we're going to move along quickly here. What else is there? There's going to be Pavonius Codex, which is the catalyst, and that's a very universal one as well. I have currently no user for it, and I haven't bothered leveling it up further, but it can do well with a lot of your support and or sub DPS characters. And then lastly, we're going to go back to polearms. Let's just quickly bring up a polearm character here. So then Favonius Lance, again, it's a very universal weapon. This actually does really well even on Zhangli, just so we're clear. Zhangli does well on this, and Shenhe, if you do have her, does well on this as well. And some people have given it to Toma and also to Rosaria as well. Of course, Rosaria may have different options because she is actually someone that you can use during physical and or cryo damage. But Favonius Lance is actually quite universal and quite good, but it does come back quite often, and you can also get it off rate as well. So all in all, on this weapon banner, I would say it's a skip. I just want to make it clear here, just to kind of finalize this. It's a skip, this weapon banner, unless you really want the 5-star weapons. And again, pull at your own risk and know your limits. So anyway, I hope you found this useful, and stay tuned for more videos from me. I will be talking about weapon options for Tighnari and weapon options for collei. They'll be different, and as well as the 3.1 new characters coming soon, just my early thoughts. And I just posted the video about Tighnari and Zhangli's banner, so check that out as well. In that video, I want to add a note here is that I didn't talk about collei there. I did write it in the description afterward, but I didn't talk about her in the video because we're going to get a copy of collei for free. So it's not really a reason to pull on those banners if you're planning to skip it anyway, or just to go for her. I wouldn't bother with that. But anyway, I'll just leave it here, and I will see you in the next video.